Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to do your rib stitch cast on and how to do the rib stitch. Now what the rib stitch is just a variation of purl and E-wrap stitches. And this is the pattern it creates. What you do is you E-wrap 2 stitches, purl 2 stitches, E-wrap 2 stitches, you do it around and it gives this ribbed pattern. You don't have to use the cast on I'm about to show you, but I found sometimes the simplest way to do something can be the best. So what we do is, this is actually a tensioner. This actually used to be a crown. You can buy crowns that you twist up. So, but I use it as a tensioner. It goes through the pegs perfectly. I've got my yarn. So, do your first round, all the E-wrap, and what I'm using a 36 peg round loom. It's your second loom down in your knitting loom set. Typically your big one might be yellow or blue. There's a bunch of different loom sets you can get, but this is 36 pegs. I'm using this one because it is a wonderful size for a man or woman hat. I'm actually going to be making one of these hats with this pattern I'm starting, but the rib stitch is a really stretchy brim to use. You can do an entire hat with a rib stitch, and if you do, I do have a video. It's how to cast off using a rib stitch, and it's a little different than your regular pull string bind off, so I do suggest you watch that. Okay, so we got our first round. All the pegs are just E-wrapped. So now what we're going to do is we E-wrap 2, and then we are going to purl 2. I'm going to try to get this close. When you purl, put the peg, your hook down through the yarn, and you pull the yarn up through the bottom. Then you take that off, and that loop you just made is your new... Probably gonna have a hard time seeing how I'm doing this because I am a lefty and should have had the camera on the other side of me. But that, if you have trouble grasping the purl stitch from this video, what you can do is go through my videos. I have more videos that show how to do the purl stitch a lot better. This is basically to teach you how to do this cast on, and in teaching how to do the cast on, I'm teaching how to do the rib stitch as well. And if you like the hat you've seen that I made, I don't have a video teaching you how to do the entire hat, but there are 3 videos of mine you can watch and you can pick up how to make the hat from that. And what you watch is, of course, this video teaches you how to cast on, and what you're going to do is you're going to do this rib stitch pattern for your first 10 rows. And then the second video, I can't think of the name of the stitch right now. It's like yarn over 2 or something like that. It's a really weird name. But the link to that video and the cast off video will both be in the description of this video, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just click on the links and see your videos, and as I'm doing the videos I'll explain how to do each part. So it's very simple. Purl 2, E-wrap 2, and now we're purling 2. Of course, I've got this E-wrap 2. Then, let me see if... Oops. Okay. I'll show you something. If you drop a stitch, this is only 1 row, but all you have to do is just pick that up like that. So there's your E-wrap. Another purl. 1. The purl stitch is a wonderful stitch to use. It's very tight. I use it, if you get on my Etsy page, you can see the fingerless gloves I make, and the body of the gloves are actually all purl stitched. It does take a little bit more time, but it just gives just such a wonderful finish. Okay, so we did 1 round. As you can see, some of these pegs have 2 on them. Before you start your next round, you just take those off. Important thing is to remember which pegs you are knitting and which pegs you're purling, or which pegs you're using the E-wrap stitch and which pegs you use the purl stitch on. Because if you get that wrong, it will not turn out right. Oops. So you go all the way around. It's just a very simple pattern. And if you're going to make one of the hats like I showed, you just do 10 rows of this. You know, this is your first row. There you go. That's your cast on. And you just go back around. What I do to kind of help me remember which pegs I E-wrap, as I pull them off, these are both purls, I push them down and pull the purl stitches up. And you don't have to do that, but I will show you why I like to do that. Because if I sit my work down and come back to it, there we go. The ones that are down, I know that's an E-wrap. The ones that are up, I know that's a purl. So I hope this was helpful. The way this cast on is going to turn out is, of course I haven't sewn the strings in on this one, it's going to make it extremely stretchy, and it gives it, it's a very even cast on. I've noticed if I use the chain cast on for this, these want to stick out a lot farther and you got like this big wavy kind of look. And if I use the E-wrap cast on for this, you have these loops that will kind of want to show up. So I do suggest using just this cast on anytime you're going to be using the rib stitch in a project. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.